Good day, everyone. I'm Lauren Maxey here with your daily counsel update for the day. Today, I wanted to touch base on a common question we get. A common concern is, what am I responsible for if I'm named as a guardian in a document? And so now, first and foremost, what I like to stress with clients is just being nominated in the document does not necessarily expose you to any obligations. So if a friend or family member has named you as guardian in a document for a minor child or an individual, an adult with special needs that may need a guardian, that does not necessarily mean that you have to take on that role. Now, this is always a court proceeding, and essentially you have to be appointed by the court to serve as guardian. But why we put it in the document is that is given incredible weight by the court of who the preference is to serve in that role for that ward, that minor individual, that individual special needs. So first and foremost, just being named does not mean that you have to serve. And then if you are named, today I wanted to touch on kind of the 5 key things that we touch on with clients of what you need to be aware of if you do serve in that role. So if you do become appointed by the clerk of court. So number 1 is being very clear on what is the scope of your duties. Look at the court order itself. Look at, in North Carolina, if you've been named as guardian of the person, guardian of the estate, or general guardian. Now, guardian of the person is making those medical decisions. It's just as it sounds, taking care of the person, their individual decisions. Guardian of the estate is taking care of their money side of things. So guardian of the person is kind of akin to like a healthcare power of attorney, if you want to think of it like that. And guardian of the estate is akin to a financial power of attorney. It's just the court appointing those individuals. General guardian covers both. So looking at the court order, figuring out what is your role, what is the scope of your authority. Number 2 is being aware that you have a fiduciary obligation under the law to serve in that role, whatever it may be. Now, that is a heightened obligation under the law that you can be held personally liable and get in some trouble if you don't do what is in the best interest of the ward. So that's something to be aware of, that we talk a lot with our clients about, to make sure that they're upholding that quote unquote fiduciary obligation that they have. Number 3 is making sure that you're filing accountings and things on time if you have required accountings with the clerk. So being very well aware of what are your obligations for ongoing reportings to the clerk of court. It's the special proceedings division when you're dealing with Wake County. So what do you need to be aware of? What filings do we need to have, and doing it on time so that you don't get in any hot water there. Number 4, this seems straightforward, but oftentimes kind of gets neglected: consulting with the ward as much as possible. Now, again, sometimes that may be realistic. If we're dealing with a 2 or 3-year-old, you're probably not going to talk with them a whole lot about how should I be managing your money. But if you're working with an adult with special needs, having the effort of consulting with the ward on what are their wishes, what would they like as far as their living arrangements or things like that, and taking that into consideration, empowering the ward as much as possible is incredibly, incredibly important. So we talk a lot about that. Last but not least is to not limit social interactions with other family members. So this is something, again, making it very clear as far as what is the scope of our duties. But if you're a guardian of a person or a general guardian, making it clear that they're able to communicate with other loved ones and not isolating them. That is something that can lead to conflict very quickly. So having those visitations and of course making sure it's in a safe environment for the individual, but not necessarily isolating them from other individuals, making sure they have that social interaction. So those are the top 5 things. It is a lot to be named as guardian. It is not something to be taken lightly. Again, it's something we work with clients on a regular basis. So if you have been nominated as guardian, or you're getting ready to be named as guardian, or you are serving as guardian, just want a refresher, give us a call. We're happy to sit down, discuss what are the things you need to be aware of in your particular circumstances so that you're comfortable in that role, empowered in that role, and can serve the ward to the best of your abilities. That's it for today, and I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day.